What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is a debut on the channel. This game is called Natsuki Chronicles, and the song is called Dissatisfied, Sand Yellow. Stage 3 in parentheses from the channel Testament Enjoyment, and requested by Gardelane over on Patreon. Thank you. No idea. Just based on this thumbnail, I'm assuming some sort of mech or jet stuff. Kind of short, less than 3 minutes. Dissatisfied, Sand Yellow. All right, let's go. Bass, 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 bass. The bass. Ooh, great lead sound. That bass is ridiculous. Do, 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 do. Harmony lead. Sorry, loop once. This is the second time. Then it goes into pre-chorus, I think. Yeah, and then I think that's a chorus. Very melodic. Honestly, I want to hear it again. I want to hear one more loop. One loop is about 1:20. So I'm gonna focus on the lead this time. Dun 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 dun. Kind of reminds me of Toho a little bit, with the speed and the speed and the leads. That rhymes. And that's a different lead right here. Almost has like a vocal quality to it. All right. It's a really good loop too. You know, not every loop is amazing. Some loops, I can't think of an example, but some loops just let's just say they're just not as good. But when you hear like a really good loop, that's what I'm saying. Like you can really tell, like, oh yeah, it just swings right back in, or like it suspends for a little bit and then boom. So it's a good loop, which means you could hear it for a while without it getting boring. It kind of reminds me of FF7's battle theme. I could hear that like nonstop, and during long fights, you do hear that for a long time. But anyways, I should think about that. Like, what are some examples of some perfect loops someday? Okay, so I have a couple things that came to mind. It went by so fast, right? It probably feels like the game. I'm assuming, I don't know what Natsuki means. Chronicles is very vague, so I have no idea what this is, but I'm assuming just by looking at it, there's speed involved. Probably very fast speed. Maybe anywhere in the realm of racing, or just like a... what's the term for Toho type games? God, something shooter. I'm gonna look it up before I forget. But that is kind of what... Man, I can never type when I need to. Bullet hell. How am I gonna forget something so cool as sounding bullet hell? Anyways, something something like that. Like a lot of whatever's happening on screen, it feels like a lot of it. Whether it's a lot of speed or a lot of sprites, animations, stuff. It just feels like it's very busy. The song is very busy. Right out the gate, just pretty nonstop energy. Even the little pre-chorus into the chorus part, which is only a 3-part song, right? Like a verse/intro, goes from verse to pre-chorus, chorus, and then it loops. The whole thing is relatively quick as hell. Even though the energy slows down a little bit and the leads kind of breathe a little more, it's still the same tempo the whole time. So the first thing that I noticed right away, which is very hard to ignore, was like the bass section. Though I'm not entirely sure if that was an actual person with an actual bass. Because if so, they were kind of, they were doing the techniques of like popping and slapping. That's that very rhythmic, kind of funky sound. It's hard to tell sometimes, like it's hard to tell because you can disguise a bass to sound very instrument-like, or you can make it sound very like MIDI or any sort of synth sound you want, or it could be a synth bass and it's all programmed and it wasn't that, so someone placed notes there as opposed to performing them. It's hard to tell sometimes. And I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. But either way, the execution of it, like the sound of that, did a perfect job of carrying the energy. It's such a integral part of the song, because not only does it sound just like a bass section, it was also like distorted and electronic, kind of like the rest of the theme of the song. It had this robotic machine type of, gear turning sound, and it was really cool. It just was super impressive. A song like that could easily have this like the simplest bass imaginable, just kind of writing the chord progression or the drum beat, but it was doing neither. It was just kind of doing its own thing. Oh, well, it was doing the chord progression, but its own style. It wasn't just doing the whole notes or something. And then the second time, I tried paying attention to the other stuff, right? The leads and the synths, and they were very catchy. So much so that it reminded me of two things that I quite enjoy, and that's Toho, which I discovered here on the channel. If you've never heard Toho, it's a bullet hell, and they use a lot of like quick tempo stuff with very melodic melodies and trumpets, what they call them, zimpets. And also this reminded me actually of one of my favorite VGM songs ever, which is Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2. I think it's, yeah. And it's got that same sort of feeling to me, and I don't know when this one was made, but it sounded like it could have gone back then too. It kind of was this invisible line between like 1990s consoles and modern. You know, like this kind of sound is timeless. So now I kind of want someone to put like this song onto Sonic footage from the first like 3 games, and it'll probably work. But that's it. That's all I really got. I don't know what Natsuki Chronicles is, especially what Dissatisfied Sand Yellow is. And I don't know anything else. Let's see if the it says 700 views. Composed by Yosuke Yasui. Let's do a quick. I've been doing this lately this year. I might as well just start doing it if I remember. Let's just do a quick Google. Why did I say it like that? Search. I do this in real time. Arcade game. Natsuki Chronicles features an immersive story that runs parallel to the events in Ginga Force. Follow the story of protagonist and expert pilot Natsuki and discover the story of her past as a rookie pilot as it leads up to present-day events. It's time again to take flight and fight. It's on Steam, PS4, and Xbox. Shooter game, adventure game. Let's see if I can find an image for you guys. This is what the auditorium has become. Oh, that's a pretty cool looking... Oh, I was kind of right. It has this like 2D sort of... Wait, hold on. Is it a side scroller? It is a side scroller. Oh. Okay, here. Something like that. I don't know why I'm showing you. You guys can just look this up on your own. But why not? You know? That's cool. Ooh. Yeah, that must be like a fun game. You know what I mean? I know it's very vague, but that just sounds like a fun game where it's just like old school graphics. Again, see what I mean by like the old 90s console stuff with like that kind of soundtrack. Yeah, I could totally see myself spending like an afternoon just mashing. Cool. Thank you to Gardeline for that. Let me know if you play this game or if you know anything about this game. Or who composed... Oh, wait, never mind. I already know who composed it. It said right here. Disregard. Thanks to everyone that you see here. I could not be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Take it easy.